So when I quitted my 9 to 5 to freelance, I thought I had finally won. And then reality hit me. There was no paychecks, no safety net, just me figuring it all out by myself. And here's what nobody tells you. Freedom does come with a price, and the price is called responsibility. Because the moment you start freelancing full-time, you are not just a worker anymore, you are the entire business. And today I'm going to share with you 30 lessons I learned the hard way so you don't have to. Now let's start with mindset, because freelancing is 80% mental, and in the beginning you will never feel ready. My first client didn't care that I had no portfolio or no testimonials, and definitely I had no fancy website. They hired me because I believed I could solve their problem, and I kind of convinced them to believe it too. And here's the fact that schools don't want you to know either. Your degree doesn't matter, your results do. Like clients in this day and age, they want outcomes, not diplomas. I've had over 400 Zoom calls probably by now since I started this journey, and none of these prospects ever asked me what I actually studied or what kind of diplomas I have. But probably the hardest truth I faced early on was this, that nobody was coming to save me. You are your own boss, sure, but you're also your own motivation, your own discipline, and your own safety net. And motivation will fade, it always will. The only thing that keeps you going are the systems and the routines that you build. And trust me, if you say yes to everything, you will burn out faster than or sooner than later. Also, don't try to chase perfection. Just launch at 60%. Who cares? Like, just adjust later. Success doesn't look like this glamour you see online. It looks like long hours and boring consistency. Until, I don't know, one day you will wake up on a tropical island with a good network and consistent money coming in. And then you will realize you actually made it. Now let's talk skills, because freelancing isn't just, I don't know, completing tasks. It's solving actual problems. As I said, clients, they don't care about your job titles. They want results, clarity, and a partnership. So become exceptional at one thing first. And personally, I mastered meta ads by literally knowing every button to push. Also, remember, one strong case study beats 10 random portfolio screenshots every time. And here's a golden one. It's that keeping your clients is far easier and much more profitable than constantly chasing new ones. And you will make this happen by having feedback loops. Like, ask them for feedback constantly, because if you don't, they will leave you quietly and you are there guessing and you never know why they left. Now, clients and sales became my favorite part, but it wasn't always that way. Now, if you hate selling, I get it, but solo freelancing without sales skills nowadays is impossible. You need to lead every conversation clearly and setting boundaries and expectations from day one with your prospects. Also, remember, it's always better to under-promise and over-deliver, because by under-promising your clients, you have a much bigger chance to pleasantly surprise them instead of disappointing them because you promise them the world in your sales calls, let's say. And here's another thing I learned painfully. Not all money is actually good money. Like, toxic clients, they will drain you faster than you think. And the moment they disrespect your boundaries, you should be comfortable to let them go. And it might hurt in the short term, yes, but your long-term mental health and your business are really worth it. Also, build your network intentionally, because opportunities will come from these casual conversations that you have on DMs and connections you, I don't know, didn't expect. And most of your early clients will probably come from people who are already trusting you, or, I don't know, their friends. So start prospecting in that pool first. Now, also, the most common pitfall like freelancers face nowadays is money management. So always charge more than you're comfortable with. If you don't become uncomfortable when you mention your rate on a Zoom call, then it's likely too low. Because remember, profit matters more than revenue. So also separate your personal and business finances from day one. I see nobody do that, because you have to save for your taxes. And if you don't want to, just move to Dubai like I did and just make your life easier. Now let's talk about retainers, because retainers are a golden ticket. Recurring income literally means freedom, and never priced by the hour, priced by the value you deliver. You are now a freelancer. You are not an employee. You are a result generator. So make sure your services are productized as well. And if you want to know how to do that, watch my other video. Now, I learned the hard way that time freedom without structure also leads to burnout. At first, I thought, no fixed schedule meant total freedom. But without structure, I found myself working at 2 a.m., exhausted and also unfocused. And some some days I started my days at 8 a.m. and other days I started my day at 2 p.m. because I was drained and I couldn't get out of bed because I pulled a late nighter the day before. And that's when I built a routine. Like mornings are for my deep strategy, afternoons for creative tasks, and I learned also to batch similar tasks together to save time, like creative work, client calls, admin, separate them and structure them in batches. And as you know, productivity isn't about necessarily working harder, it's about working smarter. So also take real breaks. And I'm not talking about phone breaks where you're scrolling, like real breaks. Close the laptop, walk outside, get some sun. And if you do feel drained, rest is actually the most productive thing you can do. Finally, also build a shutdown ritual. Like my work ends at 8 p.m. sharp. There's no WhatsApps, no emails, no expectations that will happen after 8 p.m. Now here's a tough one that nobody talks about. Burnout doesn't necessarily disappear because you are freelancing. It actually gets worse without clear boundaries. So feel free to cut toxic clients out immediately. Also, when you're trying to build a brand, just know it will take time, but it will pay much more sustainably in the long term because your results and content will compound into long-term growth even though it feels slow at first. Keep going and keep creating. And here's something I wish somebody told me before. Clients leaving is completely normal. Sometimes, I don't know, budgets tighten, sometimes expectations are unrealistic, and that's all okay. Just reflect on each your client churn that you have, learn from it. And I know freelancing is lonely, that's why community matters. So share your experiences with others to keep you grounded because imposter syndrome will never fully disappear, but that's okay too. Keep moving forward because once you build this momentum, it's easier for you not to be bothered by this imposter syndrome. And definitely also don't take any comments or strangers' feedback seriously. Learn to ignore it and trust the process. Now let's zoom out for a second because early freelancing feels like survival mode first, like getting clients, finishing projects, hitting monthly goals. But real freedoms comes when you stop building a job and start building a business. Personally, I started documenting processes and turning them into systems because that gave me leverage. Think about it. Systems will save you when your growth is happening fast. Also, try to build your personal brand early on. Even like small postings, sharing insights will add up because visibility will at the end call or create opportunities for you. And remember, long-term growth is about optionality. It's about the freedom you get to choose your own path. And that's the best type of freedom to have, actually. Now, if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed or, don't know how to start, then remember you don't have to do this all alone. I built DMN Academy exactly for this, to give practical systems, clear guidance, and also a community of people who get it. Every short lesson that I discussed here very quickly has a much more in-depth video about it inside my community. And if you are interested, then there's a link in the description where you can join the community and watch the free course about how to get started as a media buyer. And if you do think I've earned it, then also please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.